Howdy, Internet. Today we have to string and set up a Dean Dime Razorback guitar. Let's get started. Start by tape. We're gonna clean the frets. They're kind of tarnished. Look at the hardware on this thing. Try not to bump my stand.
Yeah, I was right there at 122. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gone.
Tape off the pickups. Polish the frets. Thank you. Been trying to get the volume louder on these streams. Error. Alright. Little steel wool and the little guard. Polishes the frets right up. Cool guitar. I recently heard that Dean lost its lawsuit to Gibson. And then they're going to appeal, but they cannot, I guess in the meantime, make the Flying V or like Les Paul shapes or the Explorer shaped guitars. I don't know if this qualifies. It's a pretty unique shape. But also I think there have been issues with the Dimebag estate and their licensing with Dean, so there may be issues there as well. We may be looking at a guitar from a bygone era. Yeah, this guitar is like brand new. It's just been sitting. So some of this hardware is just tarnished, like the frets. Cleaning right up though. So it was handed to me in the case. Just gonna shred the rest of this steel wool. Time for a new one. This stuff lasts forever. Like you buy a bag and you do guitar. Like I still have like the first bag I ever bought. But I think after I run out of steel wool, I'm gonna switch to Scotch Brite because you don't have to worry about all the. It's less messy. Yeah, I'm throwing this away. This is shredded. Yep, I'm going to switch to Scotch Brite once I use up all my steel wool, although I still have a good amount of it. Probably a better choice. Let's see. I have the gain boosted a lot from the last time. Still kind of have some issues with the video glitching, although it doesn't like cut out the stream. But sometimes like this main camera will pause and often the audio hasn't been as loud as it should be. Maybe I should use the compressor in OBS. Alright, I'm looking for a rag and good old Dunlop 65. No, do not buy a giant bottle like this unless you work on guitars daily like I I do. The small, even the 1 ounce bottles, the little tiny ones we sell, those will last you a good while. You know, you fit it in your bag too. Imagine carrying that around with your guitar all the time. Well, not that you would. You'd really clean it when it needs it or when you string it. This guitar's hardly dirty. It's really just dusty. Almost more of a collector's item than anything. That feels better. This feels cleaner when you do that. Other than like sticky tarnish. I've switched over to the small bottles of this myself because a lot of times the applicator wears out before the product goes out. So I can also apply it quicker. That's the Dunlop 65 lemon oil. I want to try, I do need to make a Dunlop order soon. I want to try their coconut fretboard oil. I imagine it's just the same, but just coconut. Or maybe it's actually a different treatment product. I don't think this really like moisturizes the wood, but it's a lot like waxing a car. It puts like a protective layer over the finger, over the wood. So to me, it keeps it cleaner from like the tarnish from the strings or the guck and body oils from your fingers depositing onto the fretboard. So it acts as a barrier, I feel. Kind of like wax on paint. American made Ernie Ball Super Slinkies. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab his whammy bar out of his case. I'm going to attach the whammy bar and use it to roll it forward. So I don't know what strings were on it prior. There were no strings on it when I received it. But we're just going to go through the procedures that I go through to get this thing together. And I think it's magic old green eraser time. Pop that under there. Now we got it level-ish, level enough to pull the locks off. I think that's the size. Yeah, that's the size. What is this? 3mm. We sell these too. $3mm fits locking nut locks. Guitar, you can tell like the hardware is a fine deposit of corrosion on it, or tarnish, or oxidation. I shouldn't use corrosion, that's the wrong term, giving the wrong impression saying that. Oxidation. And man, the best thing I think to clean it is just rub it off with the towel. Comes right off. I know you can't really see it in my high fidelity glitchy camera, but just rubbing. This guitar's so long, it's also hard to get all in the shot. As you can see, I'm just rubbing the hardware. No solvent, no solution, just elbow grease. Alright, let's get some strings on it. I like to start with the bigger strings.
Everybody's favorite thing to string is a Floyd Rose, right?
Positioning. Oh, there's a string left around that one.
Come in here and remove the bit of broken string. Are these locking tuners? No.
It's just bent in there. Turn these so that they're accessible. Hit me up in the chat. I do answer. I do interact with the chat while I do this work. That's kind of the purpose of these streams. It's more so to catalog the work I do. A little bit of like show and tell, or hey, watch me, and then also interact with the chat and talk to people. And so they have something music, guitar related that they can look at while we actually have a conversation or answer questions or, you know, laugh at jokes or whatever. One string is on. Let's do another. That went well. Really cool guitar. I'd say this thing shreds at jazz and fusion. You know, all your funk players play Dean Razorbacks. Let me loosen these. Should have loosened these first. Luckily, I'm not too far into this to do this. Loosen the fine tuners. I guess that's what they call them. That's what they should call these. If they're not, these should be fine tuners. Lock the A string in down here. He went with slinkies, but on this guitar they should have went with DR high beams. DR high beams is what Dimebag played. And they're also like steel strings, and they're freaking great for metal. Really bright, really aggressive sounding. But slinkies. I like Ernie Ball too. They're not my first choice of string, but they're good. DR's a pretty good brand as well. 24 wound for a D string. This guitar is obviously sacrificed a little practicality for looks. I think that goes without saying. I mean, it's cool. It's just badass. It's one of the greatest guitar players of all time, like signature. Dimebag there was pretty amazing. I am a Pantera fan. But I couldn't play this guitar on a regular basis. Although I do think it's more comfortable than a flying V. At least you can put this part on your leg and sit and play the thing. Onward to the G string. Check my phone, check the time. Got a lesson coming up after this, but I figured I'd string this and show people because it's one of Dean's upper end bars. And of course it's a set neck on it. I mean, if you're into this, this is one of the ones to have. This is an awesome guitar. I bet I could have sold him a set of high beams if I called him and just been like, look, you got to try this. I think he would have bought it. I should have did that from a sales perspective, but also from like my professional guitar playing perspective. I'm not a professional guitar player, but I am a professional at working on these, and I play guitar. High beams would have been the way to go to this, and I think he would have loved it too. I should have talked him into that. But it's not about me selling a pack of strings. It's about like, well, I think it would make this guitar that much better if he did it. Like, they probably bought these from me or had them, or anyways.